Well, welcome back. It's Central Valley Business. I am your host, Steve Walling, and for this segment, I have Karen Roseberry.
Yes,
Get
sir.
that right?
You did.
You are a candidate for the United States Senate Republican Party nomination, right?
I am, yes, sir.
Well, tell me about it, Karen.
Well, I discovered that Barbara Boxer is not running for re-election, so there's no incumbent for this particular term. It's an open field for the new U.S. Senator for California. And Barbara Boxer had been the United States Senator for the last 24 years, which would be my entire adult life, and a little then some. And I've been very disappointed with the way my representatives have represented this state, and I think something needs to change. I looked into the other candidates who were running, and they did not seem to have a platform that supported conservative constitutional values strongly enough, and I think that that's what the Republican Party needs. There are some serious identification issues with the Republican Party right now in the state, and there are more conservatives in the state of California than I think sometimes gets advertised in the press. And so I'm starting there with trying to unite the conservative base, and when the conservative base is united, the ideas that are put forward by those values give good solutions that moderates will be interested in hearing, and that's the avenue in which I'm pursuing the election.
Well, boy, that's a heck of a deal. What drew you into politics in the first place, Karen?
I've always had a pretty strong interest in politics. I hold a master's degree in political science from Cal State Northridge.
Okay.
And I believe that our nation is founded on laws. I believe that we have a government by the people and for the people and of the people. And I think that in order for society to operate well, we need a responsible citizenry, and we need an informed citizenry, and we need an involved citizenry. And I think that for far too long, people have become very disenchanted and disillusioned. And I think a lot of people feel very disenfranchised. We have a party system that seems to drive all of the politics, and across the board, whether Republican or Democrat, almost everyone I speak to in the state is very dismayed with the way the political party system works. And it's because they continue to put forward candidates within the party rather than from the people. And so I'm appealing to the people now for a candidate that will come from them.
Karen, I hear you loud and clear. That's a great message. Okay, so it's an open field. Are you from Southern California?
I am. I'm from the Palmdale area.
Okay. I am familiar with that, but this is your first go-around in the political arena, going for U.S. Senate, which is I got to give you a lot of credit. That's a great step. I have had friends in the past that have, participated in the political process, and for a lot of people, you said something. A lot of people don't understand that politics as the public sees it and politics as it's practiced are two different animals completely.
I agree.
And educating people to that process is, I think, is very important. And stepping up into the Senate as a representative of the state of California, you're going to be exposed to a whole bunch of stuff and pressures. How do you, in the political arena, particularly for like a new senator coming to Washington, the party itself is going to lay a lot of pressure on you. How do you expect to or plan to deal with that? Because I got a feeling you have some new ideas that you want to bring to the table.
I most certainly do have some new ideas. I have some ideas that I think need to be explored much further. I think we've been hearing the same old tired ideas just rehashed over and over again consistently. And it's time for some new fresh ideas and new fresh candidates to be stepping forward in that regard. I actually come from a background in education for the last 7 years. I actually work primarily as a substitute teacher by choice. I've done some teaching overseas as well. And you touched on something that's dear to my heart, and that's the education of the voters. And it's saddens me when I teach high school classes and students are not even aware of the legislative branch. I went in the other day to a coffee shop, and I was telling the young lady behind the counter that I was running for the United States Senate, and she asked me, "What's that?" And I explained, well, that we have a legislative branch in the United States that's comprised of two houses, the House of Representatives and the Senate. And it was almost as though it was the first time she was hearing about the role of government in the United States and her ability to be involved in government. And that's the type of thing that we need to change. And that's something that is kind of at the feet of the political party system. Too often, it's parties that are controlling things and not the people. And we need to bring it back to the people.
So you're kind of coming from an outsider's position?
Yes, I'm very pro the political system when it works properly, but I think that especially in the state of California, the Republican Party sadly has given us candidates that the conservative base that should be being united has been rather dissatisfied with, and they continue to put those candidates forward. And so I appeal to Republican voters that identify with wanting conservative values and a candidate that stands for those, as opposed to candidates that keep coming from the same establishment that aren't representing their constituents well.
How are you received within the system so far?
So far, so good.
Yeah?
When I talk to people on the street, they're like, wow, someone's actually stepping forward. I have met one person who said that she was just not political and didn't get involved in those conversations, but everyone else across the board has actually been very open and involved in wanting to discuss things, and they like having a candidate that is looking for the involvement from the people. They are open to discussion. They want to know what I stand for. They dialogue, and I've had at least 2 individuals who've basically said that there may be a difference of certain views, but they respect the position that I hold, the way that I've presented it, the honesty that I've come with them, and they've been impressed by the campaign that's been running so far.
Well, great. How about that campaign? How's it going for you?
Right now, I'm in the stage of collecting signatures to help reduce my filing fee. I will be on the ballot, and it's a great way for me to get out to know the public. I have a number of friends throughout the state that have petitions as well. My petition's also online on my website, where you can see.
How do I get a hold of you?
Absolutely. If you'll check out Karen Roseberry for Senate, that's FOR, Senate.com. You'll find my platform, you'll find my contact information, and you'll find a way to join with the campaign without donating any money. Keep your money, Californians.
There you go. How about a Facebook?
I do. It's Karen Roseberry for Senate.
Okay, very good. Well, Karen, good luck. Congratulations. I think this is great, and I look forward to hearing from you and seeing more of you in the future.
Thank you so very much for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Take care.
Take care.
Bye-bye. We'll see you when we come back.